Wirecat, welcome. Okay, today we're going to take the short route, no bullshit, and sum up a strategic, playable performance lineup for the key switches. Something that I've thought about and tried to make sense of. So, I wrote it all down so that when I'm done here, or when you're done with yours, if you have more than one, if you have, for instance, Real Strat, Real PC, even Real Guitar, the acoustic, you can go ahead and copy those over so that you can memorize, which is a really good idea, where all those switches are. I'm going to lay out really quick. By the way, once you do get your layout, you can see mine going straight up here, 1 octave from C0 to C1. Just click on the Real Strat and you can go ahead and save as default, which I haven't done, so I'm going to do right now. And we'll go ahead and check those out. This is what we got. And also explain why. C0, because it's generally where my hand rests, is a slide up. It's just a whole step. And as I explained last night, a slide up is good for two things. It's sliding up, first of all, but it is also the way we begin a solo or begin a note to make it interesting. So you're sliding up into that note when you start a line. So if you're going to start a solo, much tastier and more pleasing to the ears than just hitting C. Sliding up into it and then just hitting it. So, if you were David Gilmour, how would you play it? So next we have C sharp, which is bridge mute number 1. And what I've done is I've kept all the, how am I going to put this, the string oriented, like picking articulations on the white keys, and then what I would call kind of specialty, or I don't know, as a guitarist how you explain it. But so, for instance, slide up, legato slide, unison bend, my longer slide up, those are all white keys. So those are all like main, yes, I think I would say. Those are all having to do with your fingers sliding up and down the fretboard, basically. Where on the black keys, I am assigning all your kind of specialty violining, tremolo, harmonics, trigger for the feedback. Actually, I did not put a feedback trigger on a black note because I'm getting close up to the top there. So let's just go through them really quick and I'll show you. Of course, you have the C0 slide up to, I put a first bridge mute on C sharp 0, which might disappear depending on how things work with that bridge mute there. D0 is a legato slide, which is incredibly valuable, so you can slide or down. And there you go. So legato slide slides up and down, but it's going to go from the note you started on. Talked about that last night too. So that's so useful about this first slide up is you don't have to worry about it. It's going to do that theory musical math for you there. It's going to slide from the nearest step down straight up to where you want. Where if you were to use a legato slide, you would have to start, if you were going to slide up into C, you'd have to start from that B flat and do it yourself using the legato slide. Moving up on D sharp, got the trill. And very useful for those blues type numbers. E0, we have the longer slide up. So that is, I don't know how you'd explain that. It's a ballad where you're, whoa, you know, so we got the, I might even go longer. Could even take that longer, maybe 8 even, just gonna. All right, I like that. Anyways, so I have 2 slide ups now, your standard, and then we have a long on E. Kind of a deeper start there. Unison bend on my first F. Then we got 3 black keys in a row right here. Your 3 sharps: F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. And I like those are just lined up. Violining, tremolo, harmonics. I might put harmonics where violining is. So that first black key, you got the violining. Not something you're going to use all the time, but definitely a cool effect that, you know, when I feel like doing Xanadu and being Alex Lifeson, I might employ. Just a cool, altogether, just something cool. Tremolo for ending a climactic solo, Eddie Van Halen style. I used to do this with the double key and just toggle back and forth with the 2 double keys, which I don't have on right now. Anyways, tremolo is just your typical, where's my tremolo there? G0. And I'm sorry, but I didn't tremolo because that is also a string articulation there, much like sliding up, unison, stuff like that. That is also on a white key, G. So that is the top, basically white key as far as string articulations. Very Eddie-like. G sharp. We have harmonics. And A, right up from G sharp. We got the checka checka, which pretty useful. Not something I use all the time. And back to those 3 black keys, basically consisting of violining, harmonics, and that top A sharp is scrapes. Lots of scrapes. Quick word on scrapes. I don't know where all those are. There's a ton of fucking scrapes. 62 of them, 48 of them, whatever. And I have not memorized them, so generally when recording guitar tracks, I'll finish them all and then add those little tiny scrape and hand articulations later. There's some key ones like D sharp right here, you know, right before a solo. And there's some others. The scrapes can kind of be deceiving. You kind of got to go and listen to a live performance or a guitarist and recognize the scrape and then go find it on here. and then kind of match it up because they're not just scrapes, they're actually like the movement of the hand over the string just before there's something where a lick would be employed. So matching those sounds up with the proper action, sometimes you might want to think about doing. And then let's see, at the top we got the scrapes, and then on B we have the feedback trigger, which I use all the fucking time. Feedback's just wonderful. When you're doing those jams and you get on that low end, you know, you just... Of course, if you got, as you just found out, if you're going to use that feedback trigger, you might want to go change your slide off to pitch, because you're going to be working that feedback, and you're going to want to have that. So that feedback, if you were playing and the feedback trigger is really cool because it will engage the feedback each time you touch it. So that allows you to like you're working the feedback. And they give you several different types. I like that one. They give you several different types of keybacks that you can feedback that you can choose from. I like this 5. Try some others here. Here's the other 5. Let's try an 8 just to see what that sounds like. Oh, very cool. One of my favorite, yeah. I think I'll just leave it right there. That's great. Have you seen Junior's grades? And then at the top, because I don't have a MIDI control, I'm going to set this to positive. And I have an auto wah. And this is something I haven't put in the key switches in previous renditions of versions of Strat. And so that top C, slide on C1, that top C engages auto wah. So theoretically, I haven't done this yet. So we're soloing auto wah. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I haven't done that yet. That's new. But is that fucking cool or what, dude? So, you can be making a run. You're jamming, you know, you're doing whatever. And then you hit your auto wah. Yeah. Very, very cool. So can you auto and trill at the same time? Because that would be really cool. I'm trying to remember, my trills are D sharp 0. I got them all written down. D sharp 0 are my trills. I wish you would show it. I wish it would like show you a little symbol, not just the dots, but it had just a little something, a little letter. Wouldn't that be cool? So you could see it. Oh, so where are we at? We're going to feedback. Oh yeah, you can trill and feedback at the same time. Huh. swear that the other trill in the earlier version sounded a little bit better. No. Da, 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 da. All right. So, write them all down, line them up. That's how I like mine. Oh, let's talk about this last top bridge mute, C sharp. Why when you got a bridge mute down on? And I'll tell you, because if you look right here, C sharp is basically the last key before you start hitting notes, right? And C sharp is a bridge mute, right? So what's going to happen is when I'm hitting C sharp, I want to be able to hit these lower notes too. See what I'm saying? And I'm not that good at that yet, but it's something to work on. Anyways, that's why I put that. So I can hit that and still have my thumb loose and have my right hand. Right on. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up right now for key switches on Real Strat, Real PC, Real Guitar, Wirecat.